Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to Lucid's Advanced Manufacturing Plant in Casa Grande, Arizona. Today is February 20th, 2025. We are looking at the east staging lot for cars that have completed production. I'd say there's probably about 20% fewer cars here than when I was here on the 4th of February. So not a drastic reduction like we saw on the 4th, but a significant reduction. There's 3 additional airs up there next to the building. That SUV in the background is a BMW. It is not a Gravity. And we're moving to the west, and so there's typically cars here close up to the factory buildings, and then the typical post-production staging lots that we're coming up to here on the left on the west side of the factory. And I'm going to say that these lots look fairly similar to when I was here on the 4th of February. Maybe a few more cars. So I think on balance, the number of cars here on the 20th of February is very similar to the number of cars that were here on the 4th of February when I did the last flyover. So, fair number of open spaces here, but maybe there were a few more last time I was here. And I ran into a little SD card issue here. So this is a still photo of the furthest lot to the west. You can see openings in it, but similar to what we saw on the 4th of February. This is starting at the north end of the factory, flying along the east side, the employee parking area, typical route that I go to. And after we do this, I'll show some more close-ups of the Gravity vehicles that I saw being loaded onto car haulers today. So it's a beautiful day here. Temperature is in the high 70s. Light breeze, as we can see by the flags in the background there. And just a perfect day to be out both driving my Lucid and doing a flyover of the Lucid factory. And now we're coming up into the general assembly areas, powertrain, drivetrain manufacturing areas, and inventory and storage areas of the factory. These palmed line drives into and out of the factory are kind of nice, kind of like the shadows that they cast on the pavement at this time of day. It's about, I'd say, a little after 9 o'clock in the morning here on Thursday the 20th. And as we continue to move south, we'll come back to that staging lot that's on the east side and see that there's a few cars there. And just move back a little bit here to get a little bit better view of the factory, of the overall factory. And still waiting to hear more information about my Gravity order, which I placed on the 7th of November. Still hoping that I'll get more information on that soon, or hoping that some of the vehicles that we're starting to see may end up in the studios and showrooms as test drive vehicles. So I'm still looking forward to being able to test drive a Lucid Gravity for myself. And this is just a lot that they keep roped off, so there's no employee parking in here, that they've used as a test track to demonstrate the Gravity performance with rear wheel steering. And as we come up to the south end of the factory, we'll start to see the post-production cars in the staging lot here on the east side of the factory. And there they are. There's, 2 complete rows and, a partial third row. Here are the two Gravity, a couple of interesting things to take a look at. If you zoom in on them, you will see that they have a CCS port. They do not have an AX port in the back. You'll also notice that they have a Euro-style license holder on the front. So I am guessing that these cars are destined for Saudi Arabia. We saw recently that Lucid announced that Gravity had arrived in Saudi Arabia. So my guess is these two, well, there's actually one already loaded into the car before I saw these two. So I'm going to say there's three here. And then this is a picture a little bit later after the second one had been loaded on. And then I didn't get any pictures of them actually being loaded, but this third one gets loaded on, and then they start to close up the car hauler. So I'm guessing these are destined for Saudi Arabia to go along with the other cars that they have shown, or the other Gravities that they have shown in Saudi Arabia, with the opening of orders in Saudi Arabia, and the first vehicles there that customers can start to take a look at. So a little bit disappointed that these weren't for North America, but I believe that they're either production or pre-production cars for Europe and Saudi Arabia. And there's not a whole lot to see here. They're just closing up the car hauler here. But we'll stay here and take a look for another little bit. Lots of metal-topped Airs out here waiting for delivery. So I assume a lot of these are pure and touring Airs. And lastly, we'll just take a look at what's happening on the test track. I did not see any Gravity out here. Again, this is at 4x speed, so don't read too much into how fast these cars are moving. Not as much activity as I saw last time I was here. Maybe I didn't spend as much time watching this area as usual. But a few cars out on the surface test track, going both forward and backwards. And then going back into the factory. And that's it for today, so thank you for watching.